I never planned to visit the Philippines. Honestly, I didn't even think about it when organizing my trip. My main destination was Japan, a place I had dreamed of visiting since I was a teenager. I had already booked places in Thailand to enjoy the beaches, and Bali was meant to be the grand ending. Everything was planned perfectly, from the places I'd stay to the photos I wanted to take and share. But then something unexpected happened. I saw a super cheap last-minute ticket to Manila. I paused and thought, why not? Maybe I could stop there for a few days, stretch my legs, and try something new before continuing my trip. I didn't know then that this small, unplanned stop would change everything. When I landed in Manila, it wasn't anything like what I expected from Asia. I had always pictured Asia as quiet and organized, like in Tokyo or Seoul, with fast trains, peaceful temples, and tidy streets where everyone kept to themselves. But Manila was the opposite. It was hot, noisy, full of shouting, laughter, traffic, just alive in every way. At first, it was too much. I even wondered if I had made a mistake. But as I walked around, something shifted in me. People looked me in the eye and smiled like they already knew me. A woman selling street food called me a word that I later learned meant older sister. It was said with love. A man ran after me to return a coin I had dropped. A jeepney driver didn't let me pay, saying, "You're a guest here." It made me feel special, like I wasn't just a tourist, like I was welcome. I hadn't felt that in any other place I'd visited. One evening, I was sitting outside a tiny shop. The sun was setting, kids were playing nearby, and everything felt calm. A family I didn't know waved me over and invited me to join them. We didn't speak the same language, but we shared food and laughed. It became one of my favorite memories, just simple plastic chairs, uneven ground, and eating with our hands. But it felt real, more real than any tour I had taken. I stopped thinking about my next stop. I stopped counting the days. There were no big tourist sites or must-see spots. Instead, I found happiness in small, simple moments that touched me deeply. People remembered my name, even if we had only met once. A vendor gave me free snacks just because I had smiled at her the day before. I helped a fisherman for just a few seconds, and he thanked me like I had done something big. Every person left a small mark on me. It was invisible, but I could feel it, and it made me wonder, why doesn't anyone talk about the Philippines the way they do about other famous travel spots? In the end, it wasn't the beaches or waterfalls that stayed with me. It was the people. People usually talk about the famous islands when they visit Southeast Asia. But for me, it became about something much smaller and more personal. Like the man who quietly handed me an umbrella when it suddenly started pouring on a street I didn't even know the name of. Or the little kid who proudly gave me a drawing he had folded up, acting like it was a masterpiece made just for me. Or the elderly woman who gently touched my back and said, "God bless you," with a voice so full of emotion it stayed with me. These moments weren't part of any tour or guidebook. I didn't plan for them, but they were real and they meant more to me than all the sights I thought I came to see. I saw how people here cared for one another without expecting anything in return. Neighbors shared what little they had, food, time, kindness, like it was second nature. Strangers helped each other without needing thanks or applause. That's just how life seemed to be lived here. No, it wasn't perfect, but there was something deeply beautiful in how people moved through life together, smiling even when times were tough, laughing through their struggles and showing strength in quiet ways. There was a kind of warmth that didn't shine like a famous landmark, but radiated from every person I passed. The Philippines made me slow down in a way I hadn't done in years of travel. I stopped worrying about my phone, my schedule, or the next big thing. I started seeing people, really seeing them, and letting myself feel things I had been too busy to notice before. I made eye contact with strangers who smiled like they meant it. I listened to stories even if we didn't share the same language. I felt peaceful, present, and somehow like I belonged. I wasn't rushing from one place to another anymore. I wasn't chasing bucket list adventures. I just wanted to be here, with the traffic, the street food, the noise, the laughter, and the people. Slowly, something changed. I started to feel like I was part of this place. The man at the food stall asked if I'd be back tomorrow, like I had always been around. A boy waited for me outside each afternoon, waving like it was our little tradition. Even the scruffy street dog near my guest house started following me, like we had known each other for ages. It didn't feel like I was just visiting anymore. It felt like the country had quietly welcomed me in. No expectations, no conditions, just open arms. The crazy part? It all felt so natural, like this feeling of home had been waiting for me all along. Originally, I wasn't even supposed to stay in the Philippines. It wasn't part of my plan. It was just a quick stop on my way to somewhere else. But strangers treated me like family. Smiles turned into conversations, and conversations turned into real friendships. So I stayed, and then I stayed longer. Not because I was chasing sunsets, but because I had found a feeling I didn't know I had been missing. That feeling grew into something more, a sense of home in a place I never expected. I didn't stay because of the scenery, though it was beautiful. You might come for the islands or the beaches, but what you'll take with you is something far deeper, a feeling of belonging you didn't know you were looking for, and one you'll never forget. The Philippines was never part of my original plan, but in the end, it became the one place that truly felt like home. I cried when I left, not just because I was leaving a country, but because I was leaving behind a version of myself I had only just discovered, a version that felt freer, more open, more alive. The Philippines gave me memories I still carry with me, the faces I remember, the voices I still hear in my mind, the laughter that still lives in my heart. It wasn't just the heat of the sun that warmed me. It was the warmth of the people. It was dinners filled with laughter, kids waving at me from the streets, real moments of connection with strangers who felt like friends after just a few minutes. I didn't stay for the adventures, even though there were plenty. I stayed because of the people. They made me feel something rare, truly seen, welcomed, and cared for. Every time I thought it was time to go, something small would pull me back. A shared meal, a kind gesture, an unexpected invitation, or just a quiet moment that made me feel like I belonged. Each goodbye became harder. When I finally got on the plane, I didn't cry because I was leaving the Philippines. I cried because I was leaving behind a part of myself, a version of me that had been shaped by all those beautiful, simple, unforgettable moments. Now when people ask me, "What was your favorite place in Asia?" I pause because the Philippines didn't give me souvenirs. It gave me stories.